It's amazing, isn't it, Steve? The calendar date never changes. It's December 25th every single year.
Yeah.
And every year people are like, oh my God, it's almost Christmas. I'm like, it hasn't changed. It's not a moving target. It's not moving. It's not like Easter where it changes every year. It's the same date every single year. Hey, difference makers, and welcome to the podcast. You are so lucky today, listeners, because you have me, Jeanine, and Steve Saporito as your host, taking you through a really fun topic. So get ready, get a cup of coffee, and you'll be energized for the next 20 to 30 minutes.
Yay. Well, it's almost July, Jeanine. What does that mean?
Oh, it's time to start planning for Christmas, Steve. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yeah. Well, or, the Americans call it the holiday season. So
yeah, no, I call it Christmas.
I call it Christmas too.
I call it Christmas and the holidays. Yes.
So this is the time of year when, all the plans, we start beginning to think about what we're going to be marketing and making sure that we're going to be ready because, like it or not, we're in retail. I know we're in photography, but we are in retail and we have to start planning. Christmas is a huge event and it comes around every year. And I can't believe how many people it takes people by surprise.
It's amazing, isn't it, Steve? The calendar date never changes. It's December 25th every single year.
Yeah.
And every year people are like, oh my God, it's almost Christmas. I'm like, it hasn't changed. It's not a moving target. It's not like Easter where it changes every year. It's the same date every single year.
Yeah. And, and following that, and, when I'm thinking about Christmas, I also start thinking about Valentine's Day because that time of year is so busy, particularly if you want to start setting up some partnerships or alliances with other businesses. December, January, February is almost impossible to get meetings with anybody or organize anything. So I know we're talking about Christmas, but we also need to put our little hats on for Valentine's Day because between now and Christmas, we need to be organized for Valentine's Day too. And that can be huge in the photographic industry for a lot of niches. So exciting. So what's the first thing you tend to do when you're planning for Christmas, Jeanine?
So for me, I'm thinking about what themes we're going to create for the year. And so for our season, so we do different themes each weekend, but then we have an overall theme that we will run and have available for families throughout the entire month, things that we can set up uniquely for them. So for me, That's first, right? Because I have to be able to create those and design those sets and get those samples created so that I can start working on my marketing and my teasers, right? So I'm a theme of a theme type person, right? So I have my individual themes that we're due, but then I have an overall theme for the whole holiday season. And so that's what I'm working on right now. And we're in June, and I actually started working on it a little bit sooner too. So we're working on the overall theme for the whole season, the individual sets that we're going to be designing. And then, and that's where we're at right now. And then we get those. Well, actually yesterday I lied. We're a little bit ahead of that, but I don't want to freak people out. Yesterday we created our sample images. So we had
oh, wow.
Yeah, we had everything
great.
up and ready. So we brought in the kids that were doing the, creating the sample images for and videos and all that kind of, all the things that we need in order to be able to promote for the holiday season. So, so that's what we're doing right now.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm always a lot more practical than that when we always start looking at the data and into the database and just making sure that the data integrity is key. I've got now a few months normally to go through the data, and it's amazing how often we miss putting in a postcode or or in your country a zip code. Or there's there's quite a few clients whose suburbs are in the wrong space, so we haven't put the suburbs in. And so my first initial thing is making sure the data integrity is there, so then we can actually send out the Christmas cards and gift certificates to our VIP clients, to our best clients.
Right.
And as well, this is when we start brainstorming with our teams about all of those people we've met over the last year who potentially we could build some relationships with
Yep.
specifically for Christmas, or maybe they're already in an alliance and already we already have a relationship with somebody, but we now want to come up with some new idea for Christmas because it's this time of year, and sometimes it's even too late for some companies. They've already done it.
I know. It's true.
Already done it, and so really thinking about setting up some meetings with some companies. And I think the most successful ones we run tend to be with sort of jewelers, those people in retail who are looking for that extra thing. It's high end, and whenever we spoke to the jewelers, their biggest frustration with Christmas was that their team has to deal with lots of tire kickers where they're window shopping, they're looking for a present for somebody, they're going to spend. I know we tend to tee it up for anybody that spends over $1,000 with a jeweler, but they're looking for things online and they just want, or they're about to walk out and compare, go somewhere else, even though they've fallen in love with somebody, and they just need that sweetener, that thing to give them to stop them and make them make a decision. So then that way they're actually converting those sales. So we can be that if we can, provide a gift certificate, or sometimes, they're paying it for a gift certificate to give, and that's part of the cost that they're doing. So really looking for those partnerships and really making sure. I fell into this trap too many times where it comes the end of October, we're starting to print envelopes and getting everything ready, and you suddenly realize, oh my God, 40% of these don't have addresses or zip codes, or it's obvious that part of the name is missing.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because I know we don't want to talk about Christmas in July on this podcast, but that is actually what we're doing right now because we're mailing out our invitations for our open house. And so we have an order of phone calls, right? So we're calling our clients now. And so Betsy has her order of who she calls, right? So she calls people who came to our open house last year, then people who did Christmas with us last year, and then anyone who's had a session in the past year. And so she actually is doing what you're doing without me even realizing that is what she's doing, because we have to do it now. So she's in the database and she is going through it because we call and we mail an invitation. And so all of that information has to be correct. And so, by default, we're doing that. And then you're right, because now your database is current so that when we're doing the mailings in the fall, everything is going to the right address. There's nothing more frustrating, Steve, when you send out a thoughtful mailing and it comes back.
Yeah. Or sometimes the primary person that's coming up on the envelope isn't the primary person that organized the session, and it's going to the wrong person. So just checking all of that stuff is really important. And then looking at how many we want to send, because we look at the brackets. We've tagged people for who we want to stay in contact with and who are great clients, but we're also looking at client spend because we may vary up how much of a gift certificate we might give them for Christmas. And some people that have been great referrers, we track people that are, they may not have been in for 2 or 3 years, but they've referred us.
Right.
6 or 7 people who have been great spenders. So in effect, because of that person, we may have made an extra $40,000 or $50,000. And you don't want to miss out. You don't want to not reward that person and not send them a gift certificate.
Agreed.
And that takes time.
It does take time. Let's talk about the certificates, Steve, because you're talking about it like everybody knows what they are, but I'm not sure our listeners understand what you're referring to when you say mailing out the certificates. So let's talk about that for a minute, because I think that because you can't wait till October to mail out these certificates. This is something you need to plan. You have to design. You have to know who you're going to mail them to, and you have to have your plan on who they're getting mailed to now. So
religiously, we planned for the mail out to go pretty much the 1st of November, right? Because what we wanted was an influx end of October, but by latest 1st of November, because we wanted people to come in before Christmas and have that month, 6 weeks. And really, we could have done it sometimes we did it mid-October, depending upon when the labs were advising that last orders were in. Sometimes you need to take it to mid-October because we want to try and get as many people as we can in before Christmas for their sessions. And the certificates we would send out. And there's another thing, you have to plan the Christmas card.
Yeah.
Plan for a shoot with the team or whatever you're going to put on the Christmas card. And then we would traditionally send 2 gift certificates. So the idea was one for you, one for a friend, and there would be an instruction card. So, you've got your card, a physical card with physical certificates in the card. And then there was a separate card, which was almost like it wasn't almost like, it was a thank you, thanking them for being incredible clients and for giving us the opportunity to work with them. And really, here's an opportunity for them to come back again and share this with somebody that they know would love an incredible experience themselves and help them start, their brand new year with something that truly matters.
And I'll add to that for our American listeners. So for us, we do our mailings at the beginning of October because our deadline's actually Thanksgiving. So we find that many of our clients want to have everything done in time for Thanksgiving. So that way they like to mail their Christmas cards that week after Thanksgiving. So we actually upped our deadline. So we mail out the beginning of October. So that way we can get everything scheduled. We actually start photographing some of our holiday sessions mid-October because people are so crazy in November. And so just keep that in mind when you're looking at things. Sometimes Christmas, and I often tell my team this, like when we get, and this is jumping a little ahead, but when we get to delivery, like everybody's definition of Christmas, while the date might be the same, in time for Christmas means something different to everyone. So let's say my family's in Australia with you, Steve, right? And I have to mail you a Christmas present. I can't mail it on December 25th and have it get there by December 25th. So my deadline for Christmas as a client might be December 1st if I have to ship overseas.
Oh, it's probably November.
Yeah. Or if I'm going out of town. And so these are all things that you got to start considering when you're looking at your timeline and get a plan in place for. Because if it's that date already, it's too late. You got to think about it ahead of time and come up with your plans.
Yeah. And thinking about, each country's slightly different in what holidays are coming in and on the lead up to that and how important they are. So, you've got to adapt for wherever location you're at. Yeah. Really important. And know your market, know your avatar, know your client. It's really, really important. For a lot of our clients, it was about getting them back for Christmas because they're having Christmas parties. There might be family coming to visit, and they really would love to have everything up on show before they come in. So huge deadline for them. So we thought one year we'd be really clever and save ourselves on postage stamps and printing.
Oh, no.
And emailed gift certificates and thank yous and then did an e-cardy type thing.
How'd that go over, Steve?
Well, you kind of think you're saving a ton of money, but it was the worst Christmas promotion ever. Christmas for us, our Christmas card promotion would make us on average $60,000 per month. So October, November, December, January, February, and it tended to last till March because the certificates ended at the beginning of March, but it's really, people wait for that deadline of the 1st of March, and we're still accepting people, right, usually up until the end of March. And so it kept us busy right through the end of March. And on average, it would make us $60,000 per month. That year, we got almost nothing.
Oh, wow. That's worse than I thought. I thought you were going to tell me half.
No, way less than half. The redemption rate was much lower. And I get it, because if I've got something in the mail that looks beautiful, I've got something in my hand, it's easier. It's more of a presentation for me to give to somebody, and it has more value. It has more meaning when they're physically holding something.
Yeah.
And I think I bought into the whole email marketing thing and and thought, oh, this is great. I'm going to save myself. I think I used to spend $2,000 or $3,000 just on printing. But when you're spending $2,000 or $3,000 on printing, and it's making you $60,000 a month
Right.
over 5
It's
or
a
6
great
months.
ROI.
Yeah, it's a great return on investment. But it's also why we start planning so early. And I don't think it matters how big or small your business is. It's something that you really need to start planning well in advance because everything's relative. The bigger machines need more, need a bigger cash flow because you've got wages, you've got rent, you've got all that stuff. And it doesn't mean you're making any more profit than a solopreneur that's, running by themselves and, running efficiently.
That's a harsh lesson to learn, but maybe you telling that story will save others it's interesting because I've heard people say they've tried the gift certificate route and it didn't work for them. And I'm wondering now, Steve, if they're trying to do it via email and not mail them.
I think there's a few factors that affect it because when working one-on-one with clients, that experience you give, Jeanine, that's what is the fuel for those gift certificates working. And so it starts with that experience because people have got to want to come back.
Yeah.
And have got to want to refer you. And I remember, we did it. I thought it was, exciting, brand new client. I started working with them in, I think, August. And I said, okay, let's get the gift certificates ready. We need to do Christmas. Let's get it happening. And the first year, I think they only had 6 or 7 clients come in from it. And I could not work out why. And the next year, we got a whole heap more. And the year after, we got a lot more. And it took me until the third year to work out. It was the experience, right? So because I'd only just started and they were doing, transactional selling.
Yeah.
Even though their average sale was 1/5 of where it was by year 3, in that first year of where it was before, people that spend more seem to love you more. Because we've given them a great experience.
Right.
And that whole transactional way of doing business is transactional. People forget you. They feel burnt. Even though they're spending very little, nowhere near as much money, they feel more burnt than when you give an incredible experience and they've spent way more money. They feel more burnt, and it's all because of the experience you've given. So the experience and really picking the clients that you want to send your gift certificates to, and just making sure, as difference makers, that we are actually making a difference and giving them a great experience. And that's what we're all about. It's not about sneaky sales and tricks. It's about really serving people because that's, you've got, and you talk about this all the time, Jeanine, the long-term value of a client. It's about building a base of clients that want to come back again and again and want to refer you. And Christmas is just another reason for people to come back. And it's another reason for people to share and refer because they've had a great experience. So another thing I found as we were on the journey to coaching people is that the experience that you give really doesn't have a massive flow-on effect,
right?
For future income.
Oh, it does make sense. I mean, we try to make it's fun to come here. Right. People want to come back. Kids want to come back. And when kids want to come back, parents want to bring them back. You love the child, you love the mom. And so we always work on that. So the kids, they run into the studio and they know exactly where to go to find the toys, the snacks, and the treats. They're like little dogs that run into the studio and they know exactly where to go.
You've trained them.
What'd you say? I've trained them well.
Yeah.
That's why my greatest alliance is a child's dentist. We sugar up their teeth and then send them over to the dentist. But yeah, no, you're right, Steve. The experience, you got to create something memorable, something lasting, something fun, something like, because if it's not, no one's going to refer you. They're not going to refer their friend to a place they felt taken advantage of or a place that was not fun to be at. You're only going to refer your friends. That's why the quote on above my board over here, and I can't read it with these glasses, but it's the Walt Disney quote that whatever you do, do it so well that people will not only want to come back, but they'll want to come back and bring their friends, right? That's a paraphrasing of the quote. But that's one of my inspirational quotes from Disney, right? That's why it's a magical experience, the happiest place on earth, right? Except for at 3:00 in the afternoon when everyone's tired and wants to take a nap. But, it's the happiest place on earth. And they've built their business on people wanting to come back and bring in their friends.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Ours was do what it takes to create a long-term relationship.
Yep.
With every client.
With every client.
Doing it whenever one of my team used to come to me and say, "Oh, what do I do? I don't know what to do." It's like, well, whatever it takes to build a long-term relationship. How can you build a long-term relationship with this person? Yeah. What's the right answer? And because otherwise you're constantly looking for new clients.
Right. Which we know is difficult. Right? It's hard.
Well, we have to do it. We have to do it. But if 100% of our business is always brand new clients, what are we really building?
Right.
Right? What are we doing? Because, when we give incredible service, our clients should want to come back. They should want to be part of the joy. And if those brand new clients are just filling in gaps rather than us having to fight every day to find new clients, it is the most expensive way to grow a business, and it's also the most time-consuming, most laborious way to grow a business. And I think you talked about this the other day, Jeanine. You talked about Facebook has made us lazy.
Yes, I did say that. It has made us lazy. It made us very lazy.
And it sort of hit me when you said that. I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. Because, when I've been doing this for a long time and, organizing expos, going to expos, standing there, talking to people, it really did make you value each and every person. And I kind of agree with you that Facebook has made us lazy because we can just, in the comfort of our office, start prospecting and and we forget all those incredible relationships we've built, and having all of those systems in place. And this is one of them. Christmas is one of them to get our clients to come back.
Steve, I think it would be good to spend the last few minutes for those who might dismiss Christmas because they're not a themed photographer or they're not a children's photographer, right? And I've heard this from many of our photographers before. Oh, Jeanine, it works for you because you photograph children. And I think I would like to spend the last few minutes of this podcast, Steve, to debunk that theory. That Christmas is not just for photographers who photograph children. So can we talk to that for a minute? Because it really
or themes.
Or themes. Like you don't have to be a theme photographer or a children's photographer to
we never did themes. We never did themes.
Yeah. So can you talk to that? Because I think people need to get this out of their mind and learn how to make their business profit from this fabulous time of year.
Well, as a mentor, I worked one-on-one with so many different niches. And pet photography, when we do this for pet photography, send out the gift certificates, people are bringing their pets in. And I know you said, children and pets are people's children.
Yep.
It is huge. And you'd be amazing when we do a Valentine's Day promotion, how many people will come in for Valentine's Day with their pet too. And so there's so many reasons why people can come in. So it used to we used to do really well out of boudoir. We used to do really well out of pets. I've had clients that, as in studios that I've trained. Oh my God, all sorts. It's not just even branding sessions. And I suppose I look at branding differently than most, or headshots differently than most. In my mind, we've spent so much of our lives becoming a photographer, becoming an accountant, becoming an engineer. And we spend so much time at work, it becomes part of our identity. And that deserves to be celebrated. And so I just assumed that people would want wall art representing a large portion of their life and a large portion of their identity. And so we had a lot of people who had done branding sessions with us, headshots with us, and the clients that were doing it, I've been coaching to do that. They would come in and buy wall art from their headshot sessions. It's that last minute rush before Christmas. It always seems like there's a deadline with Christmas.
Yes.
That everything has to be done
Everything
before,
has to be done for this year by Christmas. Yes.
Yeah. And it's a brand new year. And so a lot of those branding clients, headshot clients, want to start the new year fresh. And so they need these branding sessions. They need these sessions done. So that way when they start the brand new year and they launch their new campaigns, they launch their new, whatever it is that they're doing, they have a fresh look. We're now photographing for specific marketing campaigns. And so it's huge for everybody. Like it's not just about children and themes. We never did themes.
Yeah, you don't have to benefit from the holiday season.
No, not at all. But of course, if you do them, you can also benefit from that too.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Why, yes, you can, Steve. Ho, ho, ho.
So what really works for you when it comes to the holiday season and Christmas? What really works? As in a marketing sort of initiative, giving our listeners a tip or idea on what really works for you.
Constant connection really works for us, so it's not just, like you said, not just relying on an email, right? So we fully book our Christmas calendar from our existing clients. We don't run ads. We don't bring in new clients. The only new clients that come in at Christmas are friends of clients, right? So, and we fully book it up now. And so it is a series of emails, phone calls, and direct mail that goes out to our existing client database. And it's constant connection and constant reminder to get their sessions in and booked in time so they can go shopping for the perfect outfits, be ready, check that thing off their Christmas to-do list because it's going to get crazy come November. So we really work on the busy parent aspect of go ahead and get your Christmas session booked now. That way you know how to plan your outfits and you can get this checked off your Christmas list early. And so that really works for us, but it's you have to hit them over and over again. And phone call, email, we have texts that go out and direct mail. So it is
so you're actually being proactive.
It's a full frontal attack. Like it's like a war, right? Like
it's a service. It's not a full frontal attack. It's you're helping people.
I know we're helping people, but it's you have to look at it that way, right? Like it's and I'll tell you, Steve, and you know that you can never connect with your clients enough when we actually have our hit list, right? Like this is how I think. So we have our list of everyone who should book for Christmas, and those that don't book, like we're continually still calling them. And even still, we'll have a client that we have tried to connect with in December. We'll reach out. Oh my gosh, how did I miss Christmas? I never got any of your, we missed Christmas and we never got any of your, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like we called you 10 times. We emailed you. We texted you. We sent you a direct mail. You missed all of that? And so you can never over communicate enough. And that's why it's really important to be one with your data, like you said, because you're not overwhelming the people who've already booked. You're connecting with those who haven't yet. And so
Yeah.
we have our list, and then it gets we continue to connect with those who haven't booked yet. Does that make sense? So
Totally.
we're very much tracking that. So we're continually connecting and trying to reach out to those that we know should book that haven't booked to get them booked.
I was having this conversation with somebody just the other day, and she was telling me about this incredible client because I went to visit their studio and she had this beautiful display. And I said, oh my God, that is amazing. And she just went on and on about how incredible this client was. And it was of their dog. And what a joy they were to work with. And, he was just so amazing. And I said, so have you called them? Like you said, it's 2 years ago. Have you called them to, just to connect and invite them back? Because now that, we were working on a brand new product, this sounds like the perfect person for us to be photographing to get you a new product. And the immediate response was, well, no, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be pushy. And I hear this all the time. And I said, but what if you were calling to invite him back and giving him an opportunity? Maybe you could reward him with, a gift certificate for a certain amount of money. I don't know where that comfort level is for you, but what if it was an opportunity for him to come in and have his dog photographed again? And that meant something. And I think something clicked with her, because I got a call on the way. I was still in the car on the way home because it took me an hour and a half to get home. And she said, I made the call and he was so excited and he couldn't stop thanking me. And all this time I thought I couldn't call because I was being annoying and I didn't want to be pushy. But, our clients actually love the fact that we think about them.
Yes, they do.
And I know that if somebody's not pushing me, nothing gets done.
Right.
And so sometimes we need someone to be our champions. And that's what we're doing. We're being our champions for our clients so they can get stuff done.
Well, and Steve, it's recognizing your ideal clients are busy. Our clients are busy. So my hair salon, if I haven't made my appointment for 6 weeks, they call me and they text me, Jeanine, where are you? I don't find it annoying. I'm like, oh my God, thank you for reminding me, because otherwise I'm going to call you when I start seeing gray hair and it's going to be too late because you're going to be booked and then I'm going to be mad because I have to walk around covering it all up, right? So I'm busy. I don't always think about it. And so normally they try and get me booked in like when I'm there for my last appointment. But if for some reason we can't, they're contacting me. I don't find it annoying. I find it to be a service, right? Like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
And we should have built that relationship to be able to do that.
Yes. But that was a good podcast, Steve. See, I told them they should get their coffee ready at the beginning and ready for some energizing excitement.
It was awesome. Awesome. Well, hopefully everybody's going to be so ready for Christmas and, being organized.
I think we need another checklist, Steve. I think we should make your Christmas preseason checklist. Let's do it.
Yep. Let's do it.
I'm adding it to our list.
we can work on that next week.
We'll work on that next week. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to find out more about how you can become a difference maker by joining our inner circle and joining us in our community, you can click on the link in the comments or in the Jonathan always says this part in whatever
there's some sort of link. There's some sort of link below, somewhere down there
that you can click on to get more information. Click on that link.
Well done, Jeanine.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.